This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Friday, the 2nd day of June in the year 2023. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Local government elections commence with thousands of ranks from the discipline services casting their ballots across the country, ahead of E-Day when the rest of the population will head to the polls. According to the Ghana Elections Commission, more than 9,000 members of the discipline services, which include the Ghana Police Force, the Ghana Defense Force, and the Ghana Prison Service, were listed to vote. At the police officers' mess annex in Ivleri, voting commenced in time at 6 a.m. Acting Commissioner of Police Clifton Hicking was among the first set of police officers to vote at Ivleri. In a brief interview, he told reporters that members of the police force were encouraged to vote early.
Police well prepared. The voting commenced at 06 and across the regions. As you can see, we're leading by example. All the commanders are leading by example, like the commissioner, and I think we're going to have a smooth flow.
He said early voting would allow for ranks to return to their duties. Over at base camp in Ghana, members of the Defense Force were seen trickling in at the polling stations. The Chief of Staff, Brigadier Omar Khan, told reporters that the voting process was seamless.
This morning, our voting commenced at 0600 hours, and so far I've been informed that it's been going smoothly. I have completed my voting just after 0600 hours this morning. In our total voting population, we have 2,799 ranks who are expected to vote today. The uniqueness of the military and the joint services is that we have ranks disposition across many locations. I believe it's 23 locations we have so far, with 16 locations rather, with 23 polling stations. And the reports coming in that voting has been smooth so far.
With there being no contest in 13 local authority areas, some members of the discipline services were not required to vote. At base camp in Ghana, Chairman of the Ghana Elections Commission, Justice Retired Claudette Singh, and Deputy Chief Elections Officer Anil Giddings were seen observing the process. In a brief interview, the GCOM chairman also reported that the electoral process was being smoothly executed across the country for the joint services.
I think it's going very smoothly. It's a bit hot, but it's going very smoothly. That's all.
Commissioners Desmond Trotman says Gunraj and Clement Roy were also seen observing the process at a number of other locations. The rest of the country votes on June 12th.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. And it is here to stay. The future is now. Transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Oh my lord, I just love to shop in this store. My customers, them gonna love all these things. So many different things in one place. Household items, electronics, toys, stationery, confectionery, exercise equipment, shoes and clothes for men, women and children, school things, costume, jewelry, perfume, makeup. Oh, look the makeup!
Giftland Office Max, Guyana's favorite department store.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that my crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
Sorry.
Jack?
Hey.
Boys, where you going with all that speed?
Yo, today's the 15th. My NIS contributions are due, and I ain't even get the forms as yet.
Hold on. You mean to tell me that you're not aware that all self-employed persons can now make their NIS contributions using the MMG app from the comforts of their homes and offices?
Really? You know, I just pay my bills using MMG, you know?
Yes, Jack. And the thing's simple. All you have to do is open the app, select Pay Bills, Government Services, NIS, and Pay. They will prompt you to enter your NIS number, the month you're paying for, and the amount.
So I don't need to submit any form?
No. The only time you submit in a form is when you're making a claim.
Wait. I could make a claim too?
Oh, no, man. You didn't know that? Yes. All self-employed persons are entitled to all benefits from NIS. Well, except for the industrial benefits. And here's the good part. All of their forms, you can download them from the NIS website.
Well, girl, I'm really glad I bumped into you.
Anyhow, make sure you pay your bills later.
Later? I gotta sit down right here and pay my contributions first.
Take care.
For further information, please visit the website at www.nis.org.gy, the National Insurance Scheme Facebook page, or your nearest NIS office.
Strong and solid in countries far and wide. New India Assurance, we're standing by your side. Golden service, half a century and more. New India Assurance, our policies are secure. From the heart of India, we serve these islands. The strength that you can trust, you're safe when you come to us.
New India Assurance Company. Assurance when you need it most.
For your home, motor, or business insurance, visit New India Guyana office, 58 Brickdam next to Star Computers. Telephone 226-0415-7. Comfortable parking available.
Let's tell you now, with local government elections 10 days away, the chairman of the Ghana Elections Commission, retired Justice Claudette Singh, is reporting that all systems are in place for voting.
Well, all systems are in place now, but commissioners have a way of raising issues, and those will be dealt with in due course.
Speaking on the sidelines of today's voting for discipline services at GDF headquarters, Justice Singh said she was pleased with the recent rulings of the High Court, which cleared the way for the conduct of the local elections and confirmed that the Election Secretariat was operating in accordance with the Constitution and the electoral laws in preparation for those elections. Deputy Chief Elections Officer Anil Giddings explained that while members of the discipline services voted today, other citizens who are eligible to vote in the local government elections will cast their ballots on Monday, June 12th.
As it is, we have a work plan, and everything is going according to that work plan. We have certain statutory processes that have certain timelines. We are either well in advance of those timelines, meaning we are at a good place, or we are in keeping with the timelines that are outlined in law.
The DCO said the Election Secretariat is currently working with the Ghana Police Force to ensure that on voting day there are sufficient security systems in place.
We are working closely with the Guyana Police Force and the Joint Services to ensure security is there. In law, there is to be a police officer per polling station. Those things are in place. I guess logistics is what we're working on right now to ensure that everything goes smoothly and according to plan.
Voting will take place in 6 or 7 local authority areas across the country. In the other 13 local authority areas, there will be no voting due to there being no contest, meaning only one party is listed to participate in the elections in those areas. One day after the Guyana Police Force announced the death of prisoner escapee Royden Williams and his accomplice Odell Roberts in a joint services operation, Acting Commissioner of Police Clifton Hicking has been dodging questions on the operation that took place at 33 Miles Bartico Potaro on Thursday morning. This morning, Mr. Hicking was questioned about the operation as he spoke to members of the press just after casting his ballot for the local government polls. He refused to provide answers to questions surrounding the joint operation, instead saying that he wanted to focus on voting for the disciplined forces.
There are mixed other things with voting. Please don't do that.
Sir, just a quick question about yes.
Let's deal with voting. I know. I'm going to talk to you and everything you need to know, but let's deal with voting for now.
Contacted later by news source, the commissioner said he was out of tongue and could not offer any other comment at the time. In a statement late last night, the police reported that the escapee and his accomplice were killed in a confrontation with a team of highly trained members of the Joint Services at 33 Miles Bartico on Thursday. A single M70 rifle with 79 rounds of ammunition were discovered at the scene, according to the police. No other weapon was found, but other small items were found. Head of the Joint Services, GDF Chief of Staff Brigadier Omar Khan, when contacted today, said the operation that saw the death of the prison escapee and his accomplice was led by the police.
I don't support the use of the word kill, execute. But for that particular operation, it was a joint operation. And in any joint operation of this nature or of that nature, the police will take the lead and the GDF would play a supporting role.
He said more than 100 ranks from the GDF supported the operation.
The area is a vast area. It's a jungle terrain. We are more trained and equipped to operate in the jungle. So we would have had the majority of ranks in that area being military ranks.
While noting that the criminals had military-grade type ammunition, Brigadier Khan declined to offer further details on the outcome of the operation, referring the press to the police.
Chief of Staff, you've been in this job for a very long time and your background.
Yes.
Don't we want to capture people and speak to them?
I believe so. As I said, I thank you for your service. We are obligated to give the information so that you can notify the public. But I would say, we play a supporting role. I would not want to comment on an operation that the police has been taking a lead.
Khan said the police investigation is still ongoing and its conclusion would provide greater details. 2 weeks ago, the death row inmate made a daring escape from the Mazruni prison, even as the prison came under attack from a boatload of armed gunmen. His escape resulted in 6 persons, including 4 prison officers, being charged in connection with his escape, and another man who was named as an accomplice being shot dead by the Joint Services. A $10 million reward for information leading to his recapture was also offered by the state. In 2017, the notorious criminal had also escaped from the Camp Street jail after fire was set to the building. He was caught a few months later. He was charged and found guilty in connection with the February 2008 Bartica massacre. He was also charged and found guilty in connection with the murder of a member of the Ghana Defense Force. Williams was facing the death penalty in connection with those convictions.
So what going on, champ? I passed here last week and this shop lock up tight.
Why? We come down with the flow, so we have to take a couple of days.
I can't deal with them kind of setbacks, Bano. I just get a headache when you see I can't make me little bread.
I know them ways, champ. But thank God for NIS.
NIS? What you got to do now with NIS?
I mean, what I got to do with NIS? I registered as self-employed and I make monthly contributions to NIS. So you see, for them days I lose, NIS pay me back for most of them days.
What? That is good. You know, I always used to believe that it's only people in big offices and so they pay NIS.
Nah, man. NIS for any working person between the ages of 16 to 60. And as self-employed, you get all the benefit as an employee, except for industrial benefits.
So what I gotta do for set up this thing?
All I gotta do is visit NIS on Breakdown, or if you're living out of town, you can visit any NIS closest to your location. And once you register and your registration complete, you can start making NIS contributions.
Alright, so what I gotta walk with and like how much money I gotta pay a month?
I ain't gotta walk with no big money. All I gotta walk with is your birth certificate and any farm ID. And when you reach down there, ask for the compliance department.
Good. Thanks for the information, bro. As soon as I left here, I went straight to the NIS office.
For further information, please visit the website at www.nis.org.gy, the National Insurance Scheme Facebook page, or your nearest NIS office.
The use of force by the Ghana Police Force to break up a protest by Hillfoot squatters who had their homes bulldozed by a private developer has angered the Ghana Human Rights Association. In a statement today, the GHRA condemned the actions of the police, saying the brutal enforcement of a court order cannot be defended. The human rights body said apart from the direct trauma visited on the affected families, the nation was shocked by the graphic social media of mayhem generated by the supposed forces of law and order. It said over 40 children were left homeless and about 17 homes were destroyed. The government distanced itself from the removal of residents. Many of them have been living on the land for more than a decade. The Human Rights Association wants to know who passed the order for the police to undertake the assault on the Suze-Linden Highway community. The organization said there is enough experience of confrontations with poor people over housing to know that they have to be properly planned. It said the onus is also on both the government and the Ghana Police Force to demonstrate the steps taken to effect peaceful removal before resorting to the savagery on display. The association is now questioning whether those with money and connections can do what they want with poor people in Guyana. The governments of Guyana and the Dominican Republic have signed several bilateral agreements in the areas of energy and air services and for political consultation between the two ministries of foreign affairs. The agreements were signed following a visit by the President of the Dominican Republic, Luis Abinader, to Ghana yesterday. Following a series of meetings between the two sides, a joint statement was issued which explained that the two presidents engaged in discussions focused on enhancing bilateral relations between the two countries and expressed their commitment to pursue greater collaboration, particularly in the areas of energy, agriculture, tourism, trade, ICT, infrastructure, and industry. A local embassy of the Dominican Republic was recently established. Already, Dominican Republic-based airline has started commercial flights to Guyana. This, the two presidents noted, would provide the opportunity for increased tourism and greater ease of travel in and out of Guyana. The presidents also discussed issues of mutual interest and concern on the regional, hemispheric, and multilateral agendas and undertook to strengthen their resolve to collectively work on advocating in the interest of small island developing states to address challenges including food security, energy security, and the impact of climate change. Discussions were also held on post-COVID recovery as well as the political situation in Haiti. The two presidents have also agreed to establish a high-level working group to advance and monitor the various areas identified for cooperation.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor of the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water, now available for only $120.
Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, Trinidad and Tobago is requesting that the U.S. government amend the terms of a license authorizing the joint development of a promising offshore gas field with Venezuela, the Caribbean nation's energy minister said on Thursday. According to a Reuters report, the United States in January issued a 2-year authorization for Trinidad and a group of companies including Venezuela state-run oil firm PDVSA and Anglo-Dutch Shell to revive a dormant project that could help Trinidad boost gas processing and exports to its neighbors. However, the U.S. authorization for the Dragon project near the maritime border between the two countries bans any cash payments to Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's government or its state companies. According to Trinidad Guardian, Trinidad and Tobago's permanent representative to the United Nations, His Excellency Ambassador Dennis Francis, has been elected as the 78th President of the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA. It marks the first time that a nominee from Trinidad and Tobago has been elected UNGA President. It took place at the United Nations headquarters in New York on Thursday. According to the UN, the UNGA President presides over high-level meetings, shapes the priorities of the General Assembly, and plays a crucial role in facilitating negotiation among member states. Presidency of UNGA is therefore a prestigious platform for a country to promote international cooperation, build consensus on key global issues, and raise the profile of its own multilateral priorities on the global stage. In a statement following the election, UN Trinidad and Tobago said, Trinidad and Tobago continues to be a leading Caribbean voice championing the needs and challenges of small island developing states. President-elect Francis is expected to facilitate, among other conferences, the 4th International Conference on Small Island Developing States, taking place in Antigua and Barbuda in 2024. And finally tonight, international news. At least 50 people have been killed and hundreds injured in a multiple train collision in India's eastern Odisha state, local officials say. Dozens of ambulances were sent to the scene in Balasore district, the state's chief secretary, Pradeep Jina, said. One passenger train is thought to have derailed before being struck by another on the adjacent track. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said he was distressed by Friday evening's incident and his thoughts were with the bereaved families. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.